Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I've got a new movie review for you. That being for the new Ryan Reynolds Netflix movie, The Adam Project. So, let's not kick around waiting. Let's get into my discussion on this film. Okay, yeah, so The Adam Project just hit Netflix a few days ago. It's rated 12. It's got a runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes and it's directed by Shawn Levy. Now, Shawn Levy has worked before with Ryan Reynolds. He recently directed Free Guy, which came out not too long ago. He's also lined up to direct Deadpool 3. If those plans don't change or alter, sometimes you get stuff happen when directors drop off and this sort of thing. And then you have The Internship that he directed and the Free Night in the Museum films, as well as a wealth of other movies and TV. Now, this film stars Ryan Reynolds as Big Adam, Mark Ruffalo as Lewis Reed, Adam's father, Jennifer Garner as Ellie Reed, and Zoe Saldana as Laura. Now, for Marvel alumni there: Deadpool, Incredible Hulk, Elektra, Gamora. So yeah, it's just sort of takes me out of a film when that sort of thing happens. So many actors now have been in the Marvel films that, yeah, and when I watch a film, it just kind of takes me out of it. But I digress. The film also stars Walter Scobell as a young Adam and Catherine Keener as Maya Sorian, the film's primary villain. Now, this film, it's a time travel movie. It's a sci-fi movie. We're introduced to Ryan Reynolds' Adam at the beginning. He's in this spacecraft or this jet or something up in orbit. He's being chased, being shot at, and he opens up a time tunnel, which he goes through. And then we jump to the past. We jump to the year 2022, the year that we are in now. And he sort of meets up with his younger self. And his younger self is dealing with the loss of his father, who had died about a year beforehand in a car crash and all this sort of stuff. So they meet up. Young Adam recognises him as a Big Adam after a little bit of time. Yeah, and this time travel stuff ensues. Adam's being chased by Catherine Keenan, or Maya, I should say. He's being chased by her. They want to catch him. They want to bring him back. He's on a mission to stop time travel ever being invented. Zoe Saldana pops up as his wife, who had been sent back in time sometime before, but she'd sent back to 2018, which is where he wanted to go, but he didn't get there. He went to 2022. So another time travel trip occurs with him and the young boy back to 2018, where they meet up with his father. Yeah, this sort of thing, you know what I'm saying. It's time travel, timey-wimey, all this sort of stuff. So this film, now, for me, I like Ryan Reynolds. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a very enjoyable person to watch in film and on TV and that sort of thing. So I do get a lot of joy out of watching his films. It's got a solid cast to it. Mark Ruffalo's good, Jennifer Garner's good, Zoe Saldana's good, Catherine Keenan's good. The young boy who played young Adam, he was fantastic, very likeable, this sort of thing. But the film is a film of two halves in several ways. First of all, yes, there's a direct split within the middle of the film of the 2022 stuff to the 2018 stuff, in that other characters are introduced, characters feel like they're dropped off and this sort of thing. So there is a distinct split. Now, the first half of the film I thought was a lot of fun. But then I find it started to wane a bit in that second half when it went to 2022. Things happen very quickly in the story of this, in that, like, young Adam became aware that this was his older self, like that. When they meet up with their father, Louis, played by Mark Ruffalo, he realises that these are his sons, or his son in two different ages, like that. There's this speed that the film needs to get through, needs to rush through. There's when Ryan Reynolds is looking for his wife, she finds him just as he's in trouble, just to come in time to rescue him. So there's this kind of necessity within the film to have things happen very quickly and sort of unnaturally in that sense. I mean, the film's got a good concept, but it just... I feel that I know this is going to be sounding weird in that I said the second half dragged. I feel that the film needed more content to it. It needed more explanation as to why Adam was going back to change the past to make sure time travel never happened. We never got a real distinct reason as to why, or saw the bad reasons or the bad that time travel has done and what it's corrupted and this sort of a thing. So there is that. Now, the relationship between young Adam and big Adam is strong and good, and that's the foundation for the film, and that young Adam needs to come to terms with what's been going on with his loss of his father, and he's being bullied and this sort of thing. It takes big Adam to come in and help him sort of grow up and work through these things. But in turn, they work through it together, because big Adam is still suffering from the trauma of losing his father as well. He just doesn't realise it. He does... There's a element of the story where big Adam tells young Adam that he needs to respect his mum more and stop giving his mum a hard time because she might be suffering and all this sort of thing, even though she's hiding it. Now, the problem with this side of the film was that there wasn't really any nastiness from young Adam towards his mum. I never got that sort of a feel. Yeah, he's a young boy, he's a bit cocky and a bit bright and this sort of thing, but nothing rude or nasty came out of him towards his mother. So that side of the film kind of fell flat. It's like, okay, well, you know, he isn't giving his mum a hard time. I don't get that. Didn't get that sense or that feeling within the film. Now, the special effects in the film are fantastic. I can't knock them, with the exception of the fact that it felt like I was looking at a computer game. Yeah, from the opening scene with the spacecraft or the jets, whatever you want to call them, I felt like I was looking at designs from a computer game. I felt like I was watching a computer game. And then when you had the bad guys turn up and they're all in their sort of black armour, they looked like things from a computer game as opposed to military soldiers from the future or anything like that. I don't know if that was the effects or if it was the designs. There was just something not overly real about what I was looking at. The very end of the film does suffer with problems in that there's a bit where this reactor starts acting magnetically and pulling everything metal in towards it, only it pulls in the stuff that's metal that the script requires it to pull in. Like, there's elements of the film where they've got weapons and all this sort of thing, and the weapons aren't being dragged into it. Just silly things like that. And now someone will probably come back with an argument saying, well, the weapons were plastic and this sort of a thing, and no, rubbish, you know, there would have been metal components and all this sort of stuff within it. You know what I'm saying? It felt very rushed in a sense, but at the same time, the second half dragged. Now, you know, but the acting within it is fine. Like I said, all of the primary cast deliver in the film. They're all very good to watch. And I can't go without mentioning the musical score. Now, the musical score for this was done by Rob Simonson, who'd also done films like Foxcatcher, The Way Back, and also more recently Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, the musical score in this was very good. I did enjoy it. There were certain cues within the music and certain thematic cues that resonated with me that I thought, you know what, I would listen to this outside of this film. Although there was a familiarity with what I was listening to, but I can't place where it came from. I did have a look through Rob Simonson's IMDb to see if I could see where I recognised the music from, and I couldn't really find it. So I don't know whether there's a sort of he's taken on someone else's, you know, attributes as a composer or something like that, if it just reminds me of something else, or whether I have heard his music and just not aware of that's where it came from. But there were certain tracks within the soundtrack that I thought I'd listen to this outside of the context of the film. I would put it on and listen to this piece of music. So the music was pretty damn good in it. Now, I'm not knocking the film, or I'm knocking the film, aren't I? It's not a bad film. It's an enjoyable film. It's a film that I would revisit, but it's a film with problems herein and throughout. So yeah, it's just one of sort of a very sort of frustrating film, shall we say, because, like I said, elements I liked, Ryan Reynolds I enjoyed. There was just some things that it needed tweaking, it needed tightening, it needed a little bit more love and a little bit more explanation within the narrative, so that you got a feel for exactly why he was there and doing what he was doing. It kind of lacked in that respect. But other than that, it was, it was a fine enough film, and something I would say, yeah, give it a watch. You may enjoy it, you may not. Anyway, that was it. That's my review for The Adam Project. If you enjoyed that, please consider hitting the subscribe button and all that nonsense that goes with it. Leave me a comment. I do reply to all comments. Let me know what you thought of this film down below, and I will get back to you. So anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care all, and goodbye.